Isis, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. Preparing for the worst, 13 diet. One New York City hospital, 60,000 cases in U.S. 13 die. I don't know if people realize that it's spring and hay fever, flu that usually sets in. Just in case people don't know, I think it's near around 100,000 people die every year of the flu alone. This is a big hoax, and unless you see people keeling over, dying on the street, this is nothing more than just a big interruption, and there's something more going on. Just like 9/11, certain liberties are going to be taken away again because of this, and willingly, because so many of us don't want to touch each other now. A real virus outbreak, if such a thing could exist in such a way, would cause them to shut down the transit and the mail. The mail is still being delivered. It would practically shut down everything technically. So it's right before us. It's not real, but something else is actually going on that you're just going to have to figure that out in that way. That's what this is about. This may be just about a debt relief for major, big companies, and debt to be wiped clean because of this. And that's probably what this whole Senate with the bill and it's ugly. I'm not even gonna get into it. But besides all that, it's creating discord amongst us. And it's silly because we're hypocrites and we're wearing masks and we're believing what the TV says, but many of you don't believe in God or pretend to believe in God, and half of you aren't even going to church. Don't feel like God's going to protect you then, huh? I think that's funny. I dare not put on the mask, and I'm not going to, because like I've told you before, viruses, germs are not transmitted that way. You can still give blood if you have a cold. And that's because they know what they know. And it's because you can't pass a cold is not a virus. It's your body just releasing toxins and impurities. If you eat too much meat and bread and sugar and milk, it causes mucus in the body. It causes buildup of metals and who knows what. When coming from these factories. Not to say just because you're a vegetarian it's any cleaner. It's a little cleaner, but it's not much, because the vegetables are manipulated, and we've got hybrid vegetables and fruits that cause mucus within us also. I'm not speaking because I read it. I practice it, and I do my best to avoid, but unfortunately, when you don't have a certain amount of money, you have to settle on eating some bread every now and then and this and that. But I try to avoid bread. Definitely, I don't drink milk. I just recently, in the last year, stopped eating fish. But I used to, almost 20 years ago, I used to eat meat. I dare not touch red meat, not because of health, because I don't know. I can't trust. You can't trust people. You can't trust factories, especially big ones, trying to get the job done, especially over what do you call it? I can't think of the word when they make a lot of money. Profits. Profits speak is more important than cleanliness. Anyway, this is a big hoax, and I'm gonna kind of point it out through this video that don't trust ABC, CNN, CBS. See that CBS? C bullshit, CBS. I mean, they all have their little, ABC, you probably get something out of that too, but CBS, C bullshit, that's what you're seeing. CNN, I'm going to show you another clip that shows they're telling you what's going on, but they're not showing you any pictures. If hundreds, if thousands of people are, or even hundreds of people are sick at a certain time, there's no need to keep to keep playing it over and over again. You have tons of footage to show, and not just from one source, but I'm sure it would be many sources, that independent sources even, that would show footage of either dead bodies or massive people sick at one time, if it's not an act. And that's what you got to be careful of, because some of these are acts. And I'm going to show in the next video the act, but for now, this is what I want to show in this video, what they want to show you. They'll tell you more than they're showing you, and they're telling you these things so that you put it in your mind that it's happening. And with the idea with people putting on their mask also, these people, we're all hypocrites. You're hypocrites if you're doing all that. You really are. You don't realize that you can't get a germ like that or a virus like that. If it was in the air like that, we're all dead already. You can't, if it was transmitted that way. And don't get me wrong, if it's 2 weeks from now and we're all lying in the street dead, then okay, I was wrong. But I mean, it's not going to happen like that. And if it does happen like that, well, hey, that's prophecy. That's the way it's supposed to happen. I mean, these demons that run the show, man, they're willing to kill off themselves somehow also. I don't understand why, but it's happening. Anyway, check this out.
In New York City, 46% of coronavirus cases are people aged 18 to 44. The virus hitting all ages.
By the way, I've been told that this has something more to do with the elderly for some strange reason, but understand that even cars is the #1 killer of people, and they don't take cars off the road. That's the #1 killer of people, not cancer, not AIDS, but getting hit by a car or getting in a car accident is the #1 killer of people. But also keep in mind, remember this, hold this in your mind, that this is flu season right now, and the elderly probably it probably happens every year without you even realizing it. Elderly are dying, but this COVID, remember, COVID is Hebrew for Kobe, is Jacobi from the Bible, Jacob's ladder, and even if you take the D and make it the lowercase d, it's a trick. You could actually take it and make it into the 19. The D upside down, COVID-19. It's all, oh man, it's a joke. They're just playing with us. They're putting fear in us, and it's for another reason. But again, keep in mind, the flu kills more people than anything in a year. Anything. I mean, not any more than anything. I mean, the flu kills more than 100,000 people a year. That's not my opinion. Look it up yourself. But check this out.
62% of deaths are men. And 54% of people
62% of men are men.
Over 75.
Check this out.
That's why in Woodbridge, New Jersey today, more than 90 residents had to be transferred from an outbreak inside this nursing home. And we're learning more about a Georgia hospital worker who died from the virus. A 42-year-old mother discovered in her home.
See, now they tell you some mother died in her home. They show you a picture of a city. Now, I mean, think about this. I mean, they just show you a picture of the city while they're telling you a mother in her home died of coronavirus. Now, how do you and I know that? I don't trust the news. We all should know by now not to trust the news. But how do you know that? They're just telling us that. And then before that, a nursing home in New Jersey, in Woodbridge, New Jersey, had to be evacuated because they got the coronavirus over there. Now, how did a nursing home in New Jersey, Woodbridge, which is really, it's an isolated place as far as I'm concerned, from where I live, it's not an easy place to get. Well, I shouldn't say it's not easy, but it's a very rural area. How did it get there? I mean, and ironically, it's old people. It's all elderly. It's a nursing home. And that tells you already that this probably goes on every year, but maybe there is something in the air that's affecting the elderly. And if that is the case, then they should be telling them, but that is going to cause something. That's going to cause people to do some purge shit probably, and start killing off the elderly or some nonsense like that or something, or rejecting. I don't know. All I know, this is going deeper. This is a big deception. This is keeping people away from something. For all we know, Jesus Christ is coming out the sky, and all we're doing is worrying about people touching us. Wouldn't that be something? Jesus comes back, he's trying to touch everyone, to heal everyone, and nobody wants to be touched because they don't know, they don't realize. This is a spiritual deception right now. It's deceiving, and it's taking us away from something else that's much higher right now. And I know it's hard for